What's going on, everyone? Amidst all of this craziness that's going on with the coronavirus, the show must go on, right? But before we start the video, I just did want to tell all of you to make sure that you're safe, be careful. Obviously, you know, we're in a day and age where the media is crazy. We don't know what to believe and what not to believe. I'm tend to be the kind of person where I'm sort of on both sides, where I do think that the media is getting a little bit crazy with it, but at the same time I do also think that this is something that we need to take seriously, just because you don't want to be that guy that says, oh yeah, it's all media craziness, and then something happens to you or something happens to somebody that you love. So I feel like it's a little bit of both, right? A little bit of craziness, but also, you know what, it's better to be safe than sorry. So just keep those hands clean. Try not to leave the house unless you really have to. I am still going on inspections, but frankly, I do try to keep that 6 feet away. Fist bump for everybody, just for now, just for the time being, because like I said, I think it's better safe than sorry. But hope you guys are okay, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sure you got enough time to watch it because you're probably at home quarantined or something, so enjoy. Killer intro in 3, 2, 1. What's up, advocates? Welcome back. Another show, another day, another week of the Commercial Claims Show. I am your host, Vince Perri, the Commercial Claims Advocate. You could follow me here on social media, and you can follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and you can see a lot of my stuff going on there. But this here is the YouTube channel. This is where it all begins. This is where it all started. Here's where I'm just going to give you guys some tidbits, some tips and tricks to all you public adjusters and sometimes even you policy holders on how you can just sort of play this insurance claim game that we play, because it can get a little bit complicated and it's constantly changing. Today I'd like to talk about a question that I get a lot on social media, and the question is basically, is public adjusting a career that I could work part-time? Or is this something that I have to go straight up full-time? It's a common question that I get it all the time, and I'm gonna basically be here to answer that question for you. So let's start. Basically, I'm going to tell you a little bit of story about myself. I've been a public adjuster for 12 years. Well, for most of you do not know that for 10 of these 12 years, I was actually a quote-unquote full-time tennis pro. Not playing tennis pro, not on the circuit or anything like that, but a professional instructor. I did it for a very long time. So I was a tennis instructor for 15 years, and 10 years of while being a public adjuster. So when I first became a public adjuster, I knew full well, a little bit of backstory. I actually worked for State Farm for almost 2 years. I was an auto claims adjuster. I was a full-time tennis instructor all through college and everything. Even after college, I was coaching tennis. Then I met somebody who was a public adjuster. That person told me to get a job on the inside. I applied in all these different places. I landed a job with State Farm, gave it a shot, gave up tennis for a while, and realized, whoa, this is not what I want to do. Working in a cubicle and having a calendar and doing all these things, not for me. So I decided to leave the job at State Farm and decide to basically, on purpose, do both things. Because in public adjusting, as you know, you don't get, unless your situation is different, the situations in I believe most firms in Florida, it's a commission base. It's basically a sales job in a way. And you don't get paid until the claim gets paid. So you don't get paid until your client gets paid. And as you know, it can take anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks to 3 to 4 months to 3 to 4 years to get paid on a claim. Let's face it. So I told myself, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do both of these things. I'm leaving State Farm. I'm going to start teaching tennis again to make some money, and I'm also going to start the public adjusting to really get that going, but at least I could have some income in the meantime, which is why reason number one, it is a great part-time job, especially in the beginning, because in the beginning you're not going to be signing many claims, and it's a good way to really at least make some money. So that being said, that's how I started. I literally went from tennis to State Farm to both tennis and public adjusting. And I remember after teaching tennis for about a year or two, I was just a tennis instructor at a tennis facility, and I had actually had a conversation with the director and told him, look, I'm going to stop doing this tennis thing and I'm going to try to dedicate myself full time to this public adjusting thing. And, you know, I was a little upset, but anyway, long story short, fast forward just about 6 months after that, and the tennis director actually was fired and they asked me to be the tennis director. So there that went. So I went from just being a tennis pro and a public adjuster to being a tennis director and a public adjuster. And then I had to do both. And then after being a tennis director at that facility, I became an owner of my own tennis academy after that. So it just sort of kept going and going and going. But luckily, because of the public adjusting career and because of the way the tennis industry worked, again, I don't know what you do part-time, I'm just giving you my story. All tennis lessons are usually in the afternoon. If you teach kids, it's usually in the afternoon, unless you teach the ladies in the morning and, you know, some elite athletes during the day who are homeschooled. Most of the time, if you're a tennis pro, full-time tennis pro, you're teaching kids in the afternoon. Well, it allowed me to do all the public adjusting during the day and do all the tennis teaching at night. And I was teaching tennis Monday through Saturday. Saturday mornings, every afternoon, Monday through Friday. But I was able to coordinate my schedule with the public adjusting that I could hit all the clients during the day, anywhere from 7 or 8 a.m. until about 3 p.m. And at 3 p.m. I went into the telephone booth and came out as a tennis instructor. And that's what I did. I did that for 10 years until I moved to Tampa here, where I wasn't teaching tennis anymore, and I decided to take this public adjusting career full time. So that's my story. The good thing about working two jobs, I'm going to tell you as a part-time. So number one, the best thing about working the public adjusting, especially when you're starting out part-time, is that you'll have some income coming in. So chances are this is an industry that you're trying to get into because of whatever reason, and you already have a job or a full-time job or a part-time job. There's no reason why you can't keep that full-time job even and start the public adjusting on the side. One of the benefits, besides having some income coming in when you're just starting out, is you have access to a whole other network of people. You know, you have your network of public adjusting people and business referrals and other people that you try to get business from. But at least for me with the tennis, I had access to a whole other network of people where all of my students and the parents and whoever I was teaching, in conversation, I would tell them, yeah, this is what I'm also doing full-time, part-time. I'm a public adjuster. If you have any damage in your home, give me a call. I can help you out. And I'd say a good, I don't know, maybe 10% of my clientele actually came from the tennis industry. So besides getting some income from my tennis lessons, I was also able to get some referrals, which helped grow my career as well. To those of you who are in the public adjusting, who are getting into the public adjusting firm and are in the construction industry, that is great. You already have sort of an avenue of the type of people that you need to meet in order to get the referrals that you want. That being said, you need to be careful, right? There's always what they call a conflict of interest. You don't want to be doing a construction job on the same job that you are a public adjuster in. That is a big no-no. Also, you can't be employed or work with anybody who's in a claim that you're handling. So be careful with that. You shouldn't be receiving any money. You shouldn't be giving away any money to anybody in your construction sphere or whatever it is. There's no reason why you can't refer each other business and help each other's grow each other's business. But if you're working in construction, just make sure that you keep the claims separate. For example, if you are putting down flooring for someone who just got paid on an insurance claim, do not reopen that insurance claim as you're the public adjuster and you're also putting down that flooring. Just don't do it. It's probably not allowed in your state. And even if there's a gray area there, I would stay totally away from it. Keep it separate. You'll find other claims just because you're in the industry already. So, but if you are in the construction industry, I think that's great. I think it's a great way to start, and really it's a great way to really meet the people that you need to meet in order to grow your public adjusting career. Don't let the fact that you're not sure about going part-time or full-time hold you back, okay? Because if there's any a good time, the time is now. Well, maybe not now because of the coronavirus, but even then, the time is now. You're watching this video, so you're already interested in doing it. So don't be afraid to jump into it. Even if you have a full-time job, don't be afraid to do it. If I were you, I would not get rid of your full-time job. Do all the necessary steps that you have to do in order to start your public adjusting career, i.e., download the courses, fill out an application, take the tests, Even when you be an apprentice, learn everything first, because the hardest thing about this job, I say it all the time, is finding the work. That's the hardest part about the job. And there's no worse feeling, and I've been there, than you sitting in your house twiddling your thumbs because you've got no work. And if you've got no work, you got no money. But at least if you've got another full-time job or a part-time job, you could still work in that job. I'm sure you could still excel in it, and you could still have that mindset of still trying to get the other stuff. So don't worry about it too much, okay? I would still don't wait. Don't wait is my point. Jump in now. Today's the day. Today's the right time. One thing I did realize, I'd say it took me a good 5 or 6 years, because I was always contemplating. I was a tennis enthusiast, and I'm still a tennis enthusiast. I love tennis. My favorite sport. But I had such a passion for coaching, such a passion for teaching others, that I had many years where I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Do I want to go full-time as a tennis pro, or do I want to go full-time as a public adjuster? When you look at the incomes that I was making, though, even working both jobs part-time, or as I like to say it, I was actually a full-time public adjuster and a full-time tennis pro, the amount of money that you can make as a public adjuster most likely is going to outweigh whatever it is that you're doing now full time. First of all, it's the reason why you're even considering it, right? Because you want to make more money. Second of all, I don't think there's another job that the amount of hours put in, the way they reflect the amount of money that you make per hour, I can't think of too many jobs that are as good. Maybe real estate, maybe maybe some other stuff, but my point is that it's a great job for the amount of hours that you put in and the amount of money that you make for it. There's not many other jobs that are as good. So what it took me a while to realize, that public adjusting was the number one. That was the number one moneymaker. Of the 2 jobs that I had, public adjuster was the number one moneymaker, and I needed to make sure that no matter what happened with my tennis job, I needed to stay dedicated to the public adjusting, and if I ever decide to take it full time, then that would be the way I have to go. So I'll take you now to my story as a full-time public adjuster now living in Tampa, and well, it's the greatest thing that I've done. Not only am I making twice as much money as I was as a part-time PA, even throughout the first 10 years of my career, I'm doing much better now, dedicating myself full-time, but it's also allowed me, because again, public adjusting, you make your own schedule, it's allowed me to pursue other things, never forgetting that the claims are my number one, but it's allowed me to create this YouTube channel and to create the Commercial Claims Advocate. It's allowed me to invest a little bit more in stocks, think about real estate, think about different things, and I also have an Amazon. I sell stuff on Amazon. So even though I've dedicated myself full-time to the public adjusting, which has obviously, it's almost doubled my income, but it's also given me the opportunity, because I didn't have the time while I was an owner of a tennis academy, it's given me the opportunity to try other stuff. It's also given me the opportunity to travel. So I didn't make the leap until about 10 years after I had already started my public adjusting career. I wouldn't recommend that for you, because you want to get started a little bit sooner as a full-time public adjuster, in my opinion. But either way, it's the job that not only gives you enough money, but it allows you the time to do other stuff, which is fantastic, and that's great. And now as a full-time public adjuster, it's great, because now I can go see houses after people get out of work. Got to deal with some traffic, but I can go to a house at 5, 6, 7 o'clock, and I have no problem. I can go to a house on a Saturday morning and have no problem. I don't have to teach tennis in the afternoon or teach tennis on a Saturday morning. So it's actually been quite nice doing this full time, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So again, when I tell you the time is right, the time is now. Okay, if you've got a little bit of workflow going on with your public adjusting career, do the math, figure it out. How passionate are you about the other job? How passionate are you about public adjusting? But make the decision. It doesn't matter what decision you make. You can do both, or you can do one or the other. I'm just telling you that after 10 years of doing both, I'm really finally happy that I'm just doing one. It's been very nice. And then one thing that I would advise you is to consult me. I've got some consulting services that I'm putting together now, so I could really break down in detail the ways that I can help you and the things that you need to really be successful. But don't hesitate to reach out and send me a message and ask, what I think. Tell me what your other job is and how I can help you make that transition, because I did it myself. okay? And I did 2 jobs for a very, very long time. And a lot of people thought I was crazy, but I was just so passionate about tennis that I couldn't give it up. And I could teach you how to really juggle the two. It's not that hard. It's just really how, it's all about time management, how you manage your time with your clients, how you schedule different things. The calendar, that is like this is like my number 1 here. So, you know, I've got some consulting services. Ask me about it, about coming to Tampa, and very inexpensive. And you could come to Tampa, or we could do like telephone conferences and conversations where I've got a whole thing laid out. So ask away, send me a message, send me an email, and I'll be glad to help with that. And that's it. That is it. I guess a little bit more quicker video. No, not really. But, you know, it's just a question that I get all the time, so I thought I'd do a little bit more relaxed video about, you know, part-time, full-time. We got this whole craziness with the coronavirus, so I hope this video could help in your quarantine mode of deciding what you want to do with the rest of your professional career. It's just a question that I get a lot, so I thought I'd address it in one of these videos. But yeah, that's it. Follow on social media. I got stuff coming out all the time. Subscribe today to the channel. Also, something I always forget to mention, hit the little bell, because every time this new video comes out, you'll get a notification and you can watch it right then and there. And then the last thing is something that we've been promoting this week like crazy, is the free guide right here, okay? The free guide here is just a great way for you to really get started. It's just, honestly, it's 6 pages. It's not long, it's quick, it's short, it's to the point, but it's got what I think is probably the 2 most important things when starting your career. It's networking tips on really how to get yourself out there and start meeting people and building relationships with people. And it's the top 10 ways to maximize your claims, which is basically the things that you need to do to make sure that you've got your claim covered and submitted to the insurance company so you can get paid fast and for top dollar. I'm telling you, this thing right here, it's short, it's quick, but you're gonna like it. I promise it's gonna help you a lot in your public adjusting career. All you gotta do is click on the link below, and put your email address in there, and you'll have it in a second. And that's pretty much it. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you all nothing but the healthiest and best of luck to make sure, I don't want nobody, just don't get sick. Come on. Stay in your house if you have to. Wash your hands every time you see somebody, or before and after. Fist bumps, try to stay that 6 feet away. I know it's weird. I know the media could be making it crazy. I believe you, I agree with you, but at the same time, just don't be that guy or that girl. Don't be that guy or girl that says, oh, this is all crazy, and then you get sick. Or then you know somebody that gets sick, because we don't want that. So let's get through this together. I'll keep putting out videos and keep putting out stuff just to keep you busy while you're bored at home maybe. And feel free to call me, send me some messages. I'm always looking for it. So thank you guys all, and good luck with everything. Have yourself a great week. I will see you next week. Goodbye.